I'd like to call to order the Public Works and Protection Committee for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Trustee Krieger.
Here.
Trustee Service.
Here.
Trustee Paul.
Here.
Member Brunette.
Here.
Member Euclid.
Pledge of allegiance, please. I have no changes to the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, action on the minutes. Any changes, any corrections? If not, take a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action items. Consider act on appeal of denied operator's license for Kailey Hill. Chief, or Chris. You wanna- Okay. Little delay.
Okay. So Kailey is in the audience here. In your packet is the denial letter, the original application, and the letter from Kailey explaining why she would like to appeal. So she's here if you have any questions.
Okay. Can I make a motion to open the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Floor is open. Kailey, you want to come up and kind of explain to us why you're appealing this? Please state your name and your address just for the record, please.
Hi, my name's Kailey Hill. My address is 113 South Platten, Green Bay, Wisconsin, 54303.
All right. So why don't you just kind of talk to us about, why you're appealing and what you're looking to do here.
Okay, thank you. I'm really nervous, so I'm going to start with that.
Okay.
I guess I'd like to start with my OWI. Around the time that I got my OWI, I was recently a single mom. The situation with my daughter's dad became a little bit domestic, and I moved home shortly after. So although that's not an excuse to do what I did, I've made a lot of improvements since then to change my life and to not continue to do or make the choices that I was making. After my OWI, obviously shortly after I got an underage possession as well. That was unfortunately just in my car. I hope it's noted that I wasn't drinking, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't driving again. And that was probably about a month after. Although I did go to my AODA Insights class, that was through Oneida, and essentially it was a program where they talked to me about, educated me on addiction and alcohol and all different types of drugs. During this time, I was also sober. After a month of completing it, I was still there for about a month doing counseling as well. That was about last year, but it wasn't long after my OWI that I got a second job. I paid off all of my fines immediately within that month after it happening. I got a different vehicle. There was also a speeding ticket involved with my OWI. And in December, I got my own place, which was in Green Bay. That's where I've been for almost 2 years now, in this December coming up of 2025. I've been employed at the Oneida Casino for almost 2.5 years. The job that I'm applying for the bartending license for is actually still at the casino. And with my record of driving, I haven't had a license for quite some time. I did finally get that back. I've always paid all of my fines. I've done everything I needed to do to try to kind of come back from my OWI. Like I said, I'm a single mom. I've worked 2 jobs when I need to. I've been employed this whole time, at the same place for a couple years. And the place that I'm at now, I was working for 2 months, as a second job, and I can't really go further with that without this license. Because of my driving record, my insurance is $700 a month. And without this second job, I can't afford my insurance. And I need my insurance to drive to get to work for my original job, so I can pay for my bills and continue to do what I need to do. If this was 5 months from now, you guys would, from my understanding, accept my bartending license, because it would have, been after the 2 years of both incidents. But I'm hoping that you'll reconsider. I need this now, and I would really appreciate that you consider. I've been working this whole time. I've, gotten everything together. I've done my class, and I'm just trying to do what's best so I can, do everything. I understand that I can get a second job, doing something else, but, this is already at the place I already work. I know everybody, and I make really good money doing this. I really like it, and I'd hope that you guys take that into consideration. I did bring just my certificate of completing it, just to show you that I did do that. And all else I have to bring is just my W-2s to show you that I have been working, and I've got those both. I have both of those jobs. Okay, thank you, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any additional questions?
And I know that you said you've taken the classes. I guess, what other things have you done personally to help, just to kind of move past this?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, you took those classes through Oneida, that, just kind of some of the counseling classes. I guess, what else have you been doing since that time frame, or, have you kind of, what else has changed for you in that time frame?
Essentially, my daughter, so she's 2.5. She turns 3 in May. So this whole time I've just been working. I've been focused on taking care of her, taking care of bills. Like I said, I've been a single mom since last December. All I can really do is focus on, paying for my bills and taking care of her. And she is, I think anybody can say with kids that, that's all that they want, is to take care of them and give them everything they have. And with my job right now, I will say that I can pay my bills, but it's hard. And with this second job, I've been able to give her everything and not have to worry about, I guess, the next thing that I have to do. I've mainly just been with her. I did counseling up until I didn't feel like I needed it anymore. I guess that's about as much as I can really say.
I was interested in your comment about how you think the police were seeing your plate, so they were stopping you.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't, during all those incidents, if you were to take a look, they were just reading my plates. I haven't been pulled over for speeding since the incident of my OWI, and prior to that, that's why I didn't have my license. But I did take all the precautions I needed to get my license, which I'll say it was incredibly hard. Along with doing my AODA, I had to pay for, the cost of taking the class, getting the assessment, my insurance itself with the SR22. And yeah, I've really honestly tried my best to do everything the way that I'm supposed to do. And I continue to hit obstacles, which I understand. You know, I put myself in this predicament and I take full responsibility for that. But I just hope you guys understand. I'm trying my best, and I really want this. Like I said, I haven't been pulled over for speeding or anything. Like, they're just seeing that I didn't have my license, and now that's not an issue anymore. I finally taken care of that. I just had to wait until August of this year because I was revoked. So once I was able to take care of that, I got it immediately that month and paid everything that I was supposed to pay for.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Haley, you know, we can all appreciate that you're really working hard and really trying to, you know, to set your life on the right path and do what's right for your daughter and everything. That's great. Here in Ashwaubenon, you're right. We do have these hard, fast rules. So, you know, it is definitely a challenge. Anybody else have any further questions?
Yes, I do have a comment. Kailey, you know, I believe what you're telling us, I believe you're trying to go forward. I wish this was a few more years from now that you came in front of us, meaning you 2 more years have passed then came. Your convictions are so close to the timeline of being fairly recent. Our safety department denies you because of these, and you know, I hate to say this, but being this close of a convictions or violations, if more time had passed, I'd be in favor of you. But being so soon, I'm sorry I can't go along with it. But I sure wish you good luck. I think you're an honest person now, but we got to respect our safety department and decisions they make too.
Thank you.
All right, can I get a motion to close the floor?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And Haley, like I said, we all appreciate your position and feel like you're heading in the right direction. So can I get a motion on this?
I'll make a motion. I don't want to be the bad guy, but I'll make a motion to deny her request.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any other further discussion?
I do have a question. if
Yes.
it's Okay. So I was under the impression that, like, after the 2 years, or because I was denied because it was within 2 years. After that point, I would be able to apply again.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Okay, all those in favor to uphold the denial?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. And yeah, and you can talk to our clerk about the details as to, you know, when you can apply again and all those things. But commend you, it's the direction you're heading. But we have rules that we kind of go by and what public safety goes by that we, as far as giving out those licenses, so.
Well, this does go to village board.
Yeah, it will go to village board as well, so that will be at the end of the month.
Okay.
The last, you know, and it'll go before the village board as well.
And they have final say in it.
Yep.
Trustee Krieger,
Yes,
can I speak?
yes, you may.
So if a person's denied, they can't reapply for a year.
Okay,
So if she gets denied at the end of February.
end of February.
It would be February. 2026.
Okay,
Okay,
all right. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for the clarification, Chris. Let me go back here. Action item B, consider, discuss, act on Class B beer, Class C wine license for Tattered Whisk LLC DBA, the Green Bay Cookie Company. Chris?
So this is a new business in Ashwaubenon, and they're applying just for the B beer and the C wine. And the owner isn't here, but someone to answer any questions you have.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions or?
I have a question, but it's not for, it's for you, Chris. This is the type of license that we do not have a limit on the amount of licenses we have, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Can I get some explanation on what kind of a business it is?
Yeah. Please state your name and address for a record, please.
Absolutely. I'm Anthony Dunn. I'm Erica Dunn's husband. And our address is 1554 Waterford Court, Green Bay, 54313. The store address is 904 Hanson Road.
Okay.
We're a couple of suites down from Not by Bread Alone.
Okay, perfect. Maybe you can answer Gary's question, just kind of what are you looking to do? What's, what kind of business you going into here?
Absolutely. My wife is the owner, creator, developer, designer, and she's really done an amazing job. She started this business when we lived up in Pembine about 3 years ago. And
Would you mind just grabbing that mic and sliding it? Just, there you go. Thank you.
sorry about that. We moved down to Green Bay almost, I guess it's going to be a year and a couple of weeks. And one of the reasons that we did that is because she was doing so well as a cottage baker out of our house that she wanted to open up a storefront. And so she's been working on doing that throughout the year. On November 18th, she took possession of the premises where we're currently located. And her passion has always been cooking, and so what she is doing is she's continuing to make cookies. She does about 10,000 cookies a year for the Packers, and she does a lot of custom orders, and she makes gourmet cookies, that sort of thing. And it's been really well received. But she wants to also do events. She wants to have food available. She's made some things available on a kind of a pop-up basis. So she's done chili and sandwiches and charcuterie, some pasta dishes, that sort of thing. And one of the things that people have mentioned to her is that they would like to have beer and wine available to accompany the food and make that a positive experience. The other thing that she wants to do is host events. So, she started off as this primarily a dessert kind of shop. And by the way, just to let you know why she did this, we have 7 kids, and our youngest are twins that were born in October of 2021. And my wife had just turned 40 at that time. And so she had been out of the workplace having kids for about 10 years. And she looked at me one morning and said, look, I want to do something that's mine. And so she started taking some classes on cookies and decorating them and that sort of thing. And it just became so well received that she wanted to do this. But anyway, so the events that she wants to host are events like teaching people how to do what she does as far as baking cookies and decorating, that sort of thing. She's got a very artistic background, so she wants to have events where she teaches people how to paint. And again, to have beer and wine available along with food during that setting is something that she would appreciate as well. I hope that answers your question, sir.
It does. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the Class B beer and Class C wine license for the Tattered Whisk DBA Green Bay Cookie Company.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item C, consider, discuss, act on a temporary alcohol license premise extension for Village Liquor and Wine.
I just wanted to say that now you need to come back for,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that. Yeah, it
and I
will,
gave you that date and everything. Yes.
yeah, at the village board meeting. My bad, sorry. You, absolutely.
No, you got to stay the whole time.
We can make, you can listen to us more, so, yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Sorry.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so now we're on to the temporary alcohol license premise extension for Village Liquor and Wine. What they want to do, starting March 1st through June 1st for the draft, they feel they need more storage for their alcohol. And they have 2 suites next to their liquor store right now that are available, and they want to store in there, and then they want to have a trailer in the back, which I'm assuming is refrigerated. He didn't call me back and tell me if it was or not. So I did, I talked to public safety, they're fine with it, but they said too, if it's a refrigeration truck, that the neighbors might complain for the noise. So he's aware of that. I know he's been told that, so, but he's not here, so.
Okay. And they aren't selling out of here, it's just pure storage is all that they're looking to do. It's just
Correct.
store the alcohol there.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion approved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, consider, discuss, act on bid award of Babcock Monopole Construction. Ryan?
All right, so in front of you guys tonight, you have the bid summary. I did also hand out a paper copy of the engineer's recommendation for this project. This essentially is for the construction of the monopole located where the existing Babcock standpipe or water tower is. We plan to remove that facility. There is currently 3 existing cell phone towers or cell phone providers on that water tower that will need to be relocated to this monopole. This was a project that was approved in the 2025 capital improvement plan. We did budget $200,000 for this project, so the project is well under budget. So just looking to get a motion to award the contract to Alexco. With that, I'll open the board to any questions.
Ryan, how come there's only one bidder?
That's a good question. So we did solicit for this on January 10th and January 17th. I'll be very honest, this is the first time that I've ever built a cell phone tower. Don't really know a ton about the market. I don't know if we did solicit publicly for it. We did place it out on BidQuest, which is where we put all of our bids. I can't answer that in certainty as to why there was only one bidder.
But it is under budget.
It is.
Okay, I don't have a problem with it.
Any other questions for Brian? If not, we have a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend the village board award Babcock Monopoly Construction to Flexco in an amount of, is it Monopole?
Monopole.
Construction to Flexco in the amount of $118,849.
Second,
Do I have a second?
second.
Second? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On to the next item for Brian. Consider, discuss, act on the bid award of the Babcock standpipe removal.
All right, so following the construction of the Monopole, the cell phone providers will then move over all of their equipment to the new Monopole, allowing us to remove the existing standpipe that's there. We did receive 4 bids on this project. The flip side of this is the bids did come in actually over budget. We budgeted 60,000. Bids came in at about 100 and, sorry, I'm in the wrong item, at 83,000, sorry, 85,500. Reason for that, we did some asking around. So ultimately, the bids are drastically offset by scrap steel prices. So what they do is this bid is very dependent on what the market is on scrap steel. What we were looking to do is potentially reallocate funds from the construction of the tower to support this project. Both projects, if you take the sum of them, you add them together, are still well under what we had budgeted for. They are both being supported by our water utility. So it's not that you're borrowing money from a different pot of money. It is all coming from the same funding source. I did speak with our finance director to see if there was going to be any issues with that reallocation of funds from one project to the other. He said there was going to be no issues with that. We did do our due diligence working with L&M Trucking to be sure that they have the ability to do this type of work and are experienced in doing this type of work because it is so close to 2 residential homes, roads on 2 sides, stuff like that. We reviewed their demo plan and it's acceptable to the village staff. And with that, I'll open the floor if you guys have any questions for me.
Here's a question I have, Brian, is there's 2 buildings also, not just a sandpipe. What's going to happen with those? They're not huge buildings, but there's 2
Yeah.
buildings there.
Yeah, no, very good question. So those buildings are ultimately buildings that have generators in them and essentially the network equipment for those cell providers. Those buildings will stay in place.
Okay.
So what they'll need to do is they're going to protect those structures with fire retardant blankets because they'll use torches to cut the steel. So just based on the proximity, they'll make sure to ensure that there is no fire, that anything that catches on fire that shouldn't be on fire during the torching of the standpipe.
Okay. And then what happens with the property going forward then? Does it stay fenced the way it is type of thing, or?
Yep, we plan to leave the fencing and all the existing trees there because some of them do serve as screening. The fence will stay intact. Essentially, it'll go from having a 30-foot in diameter, 70-foot tall standpipe to a 5-foot in diameter, 100-foot tall cell phone tower. It really won't change a ton. Actually, the aesthetic appearance will probably be far less, obtrusive than how it is now.
Okay.
Ryan, who's going to maintain it then? You're going to have more grass to cut?
So our Parks Department does cut the grass there now. They will be the ones to cut it again. It's not going to be a whole ton more grass, but yes, there definitely will be more of a grassy area there than there was previously.
And you're comfortable with L&M Trucking doing it, seeing they're really low compared to the other bids?
Yeah, that is something both the engineer, which is Jeff Kellner from McMahon, and myself, we had a phone conference with them. We did actually have them out at the site at our pre-bid meeting. They did see the site. They did get inside the standpipe to know that they were dealing with. We also wanted to make sure that they had the understanding that they're not able to drop this standpipe like a silo that you might see, that they have to cut it down into pieces. Well aware of that. They have a 60-ton crane that they plan to bring it down into pieces, cut it, get it on trucks, and get it out of here. They've done work like this. It's my understanding that currently they're demoing the Appleton Library. Prior to that, they just came off from demoing the Calumet County Jail, which we were a little concerned at first because we thought they maybe only had experience with demoing, buildings. And then they also were able to touch on some of the harvesters, which are similar to like a farm silo that they removed, that were in between existing buildings. So that's when we got the sense of comfort, based on their previous experience, that they would have the ability to do this type of work.
Brian, is that built out of steel or is that a mixture of steel and concrete?
So the part that's above ground is entirely steel. It's just the
Oh,
part
okay.
that's below ground. It's sitting on a foundation, a thickened edge foundation that's 6 feet deep. And then it has a 18-inch deep floor, or 18-inch thick floor. So it has essentially a frost wall, you know, a thickened beam under a large, really thick concrete slab.
The concrete will be raised too?
Yeah, so what we did is we got an alternate bid to remove all of the concrete. The base bid included removing the concrete only down 3 feet. And we thought it'd be advantageous to remove all of the concrete, which is an additional $4,350. But what that does allow for is if anything was to go there in the future, you're not gonna have someone hitting this unknown large mass of concrete. So we thought it'd be best to get it back to, you know, its natural state rather than leaving a large mass of concrete below ground.
Good idea.
All right, any other questions, Ryan? If not, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to recommend the village board to award the Babcock standpipe removal to L&M Trucking in the amount of $85,500.
Second.
So we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, items for next agenda. I'm sure there will be some.
Yeah, we're gonna have a number of ordinance proposals that'll come through this committee, in particular regarding parking, specifically related to the draft.
draft.
And some things from that respect. We'll talk a little bit about food truck licensing in relation to the draft, and there may be one other that'll come through committee next month in preparation of April.
Okay. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.